I use collaborative conversations every day of my life. Um, I developed this methodology about 10 years ago, about 11 years ago now. And I've learned that just taking the time before I go to a meeting or get on a phone call with someone to think, what type of conversation am I in? Am I having an initial conversation where I'm trying to establish shared understanding about what we're going to do together? Am I having a conversation to explore possibilities? Am I in a conversation that's about coordinating action? Or am I in a conversation that's about learning? And if I know that ahead of time, I can ask myself a few questions like, what are the outcomes I want for this conversation? How will I know when I've achieved those outcomes? What do I think the other person wants for outcomes? And how will I know when those have been achieved? And just taking a couple minutes to ask myself those questions and think about, what type of conversation helps me tremendously. Gives me kind of a leg up over a lot of other people in terms of asking really good questions for folks. I'm often asked, how do I come up with my questions? Because I ask a lot of questions of people. That's because I have these frameworks of the different kinds of conversations and the different kinds of questions that support those conversations. So, yes, I use collaborative conversations all the time. And interestingly, with my last client, which was a big government agency, and I was training the top IT leadership in this 8,000 person organization, and they kept saying, well, Ken, you know, we're working with people who don't know collaborative conversations. How do we talk to them? And I thought to myself, I work with people every day who don't know collaborative conversations methodology. And I do that by just taking the time to ground myself and think, what do I want to have happen here? And how can I bring that about in a way that is collaborative with this other person, that allows the both of us to have the space for individual thoughts and perhaps some dissent and differing ideas, so that those can coexist in a generative space where we can create something useful for ourselves. So yes, I use this all the time.